This presentation will focus on how organizations can achieve significant return on investment using artificial intelligence. I've been around machine learning since 2014 when I started Fitivity, where I used the machine learning technique to reach scale of about 15 million users globally. I then started Elite, which was one of the first computer vision consumer applications that did machine learning on the iPhone. Now, this was the first of its kind. Both of these were acquired. I then started Valere, which is an agency with over 200 people that focus on building AI applications. By 2030, there will be two types of companies, the ones using AI and the ones that died because they didn't. AI, it's rooted in statistics. The input is data mixed with algorithms, and the output is some sort of prediction. There are two types of data. There's structured data and unstructured data. Structured data you can think about as in databases or Excel spreadsheets. Unstructured data could be PDFs, images, videos. Artificial intelligence is an umbrella term. Under it is machine learning, which you can think about as simple tasks, and deep learning, which are more complex tasks. Now, of course, there's different subsets of AI, such as natural language processing, generative AI, computer vision, etc. But for the most part, we can think about it as machine learning and deep learning. Again, this presentation is really going to focus on how organizations can achieve real value by using artificial intelligence in practical scenarios. Right now, we're in this exploration phase. A lot of businesses are doing lots of experiments to how to achieve value using AI, but only a fraction of them have really achieved value. The best analogy I can give you to the phase we're in is you go all the way back in time to when electricity was introduced and thought of to really help businesses generate value. Now, in 1880, up until 1880, steam was the main power source used to power the machines on a factory floor. And the way this worked is all of the machines had to be huddled around the power source, which was steam. This is just the way the machines had to operate. And then they tried their first experiment, which is called a point solution, because they swapped steam with electricity at the particular point. And this really didn't provide any significant value. So they tried the next experiment, which is called an application solution, because they redesigned the machine or the application to embed electricity within the machine. Now, again, the value was relatively insignificant when you compare it with the next experiment, which was a system solution. Now that you had these applications and electricity embedded within the machine, it allowed for a more modular approach where they could order the machines in a very strategic and purposeful positions, which allowed for a system solution, which allowed for the invention of the assembly line in 1920. So it took 40 years in multiple experiments, time, energy, and investments to really realize significant value. And I want to make the argument we are much closer to 1880 than we are to 1920 when it comes to using artificial intelligence. So I talked about a point solution, an application solution, and a system solution, but I want to be more detailed to how it relates to artificial intelligence. So a couple definitions. When I talk about point solutions and application solutions, you can think of these collectively as AI agents. And a system solution are AI agents used in strategic systems. So a point solution, a great example, is a chatbot. And by the way, a point solution is just a real narrow focus and use case of artificial intelligence. So using a chatbot, what are you automating? You're automating the time of a customer service agent. And then if you want to integrate AI, the chatbot, you're really getting insignificant value compared to an application solution, which has more value than a point solution. So an application solution is a more broader use of AI. You're accomplishing a very specific goal. But again, the value is not as significant as a system solution. So a great example of an application solution could be maybe scheduling, where you have to schedule surgeries for animals and you have to pull together, logistics, resources, different schedules, insurance. It can be very mentally intensive. Now, it will provide value, but again, not compared to a system solution where you're using multiple AI agents in all of your different systems and you're overhauling each system to leverage the AI agent. So you're overhauling the system so that humans can now interact with the AI system differently than when the human just utilized the system before. This provides the most value by far. And a great example, imagine if healthcare leveraged a system-based solution. So right now, doctors will take notes when they're talking to a patient. If they overhaul the system and the doctor leveraged an AI agent, the AI agent can take notes and the doctor could just have that one-on-one, very intimate conversation. The AI would take the notes, put the data into the database, and it would be a much better experience and the whole system would have to be overhauled. Or imagine an AI agent would be able to help a doctor with surgery so the doctor could focus more on different surgical procedures. Or the AI agent or an AI robot help the nurse administer drugs so the nurse could spend more time nurturing the patient. There are all these different systems within healthcare, which if they leveraged AI agents and overhauled those systems, they would be able to achieve significant value, possibly saving and unlocking billions in dollars of value. So I want to give you now an example of an entire industry that gained a significant advantage using a system solution. Now, most cars in 2024 have a sensor in the back, and it's an AI sensor that as you back up, it allows you to determine how far you are from hitting objects. Now, if you redesign the entire car system and embed multiple AI agents in the car system, maybe an agent that has computer vision to look at oncoming traffic, or an AI agent that can look at humans and determines the decisions they're going to make. And if you have all of these AI agents talking to each other, redesigning the system, you can actually achieve autonomous driving, which has significant value. Amazon is an example of a company that's figured out and mastered a system solution. They use AI from recommendation systems to warehouse robotics, natural language processing for customer service, supply chain optimization, fraud detection and prevention. And not only have all their systems been overhauled to leverage these AI agents, but they have grown their data sets to become so mature that they've created what's called an economic moat. So no e-commerce company will ever be able to catch up to what they're able to do. They've achieved such a level of assistance intelligence that I'll get to later in this presentation, where again, they have such an economic advantage. But even small businesses can really take advantage of a system solution. So think of the example of a t-shirt company. That t-shirt company can create multiple AI agents from demand forecasting, be able to determine what SKUs they need to purchase at particular points in the season to maximize their return on investment, or product placement. Computer vision to be able to measure incoming traffic coming into the stores and figuring out the optimal positions to place their t-shirts in the context of a store. Or supply chain optimization, or computer vision that leverages quality control features where before maybe a human would manually have to look at t-shirts and figure out the deficiencies, and they would work really slow doing that, where computer vision can do that really quickly and look at hundreds of SKUs within seconds and figure out those same deficiencies. So we've came up with this crawl, walk, and run AI framework to help any organization to get started. Now, whether you're a seriously mature organization or a relatively immature organization, in regards to your machine learning and data science efforts, would determine where you want to start in these segments. And I want to be clear, all of these segments really build on top of each other. Now, the first segment is this idea of off-the-shelf tools for experimentation. So if you're just getting started, it makes sense just to start here to gain some level of confidence. Use some off-the-shelf tool. A really popular one is OpenAI's ChatGPT. Maybe you want to use it to help you write a better email. gain confidence, and then move on to the next segment, which is this idea of arranging intelligence. Now, you'll want to work probably with an engineer to take all of your databases, and lots of companies have data in multiple databases, and you want to centralize it. You also want to take all your unstructured data and centralize it into one database. This will allow you to build your first custom AI solution. Now, the first AI solution that usually makes the most sense for beginners is this idea of automated intelligence, and that is just automating some mundane tasks. So a great example is maybe legal AI that can look at a set of rules, compare it to thousands of pages of documentation, and compare and contrast based on those rules. AI is really good at that. And then once you gain a win there, you'll probably want to move to the next segment, which is analytic intelligence. And this is just more mentally intensive tasks. So I alluded to an AI solution earlier that can put together and bring together all of the resources for surgeries, handle logistics for surgeries, handle the insurance, etc. Again, that is really mentally intensive, and AI solutions are really good for solving those type of problems. Now, once you have a win there, it's on to accelerated intelligence. And this is just modeling data and coming up with predictions for the future. So a great example is an AI solution that can maybe calculate the depreciation of assets in the future. Now, once you've done all of these segments, you'll be ready for the next segment, which is assistance intelligence. And I want to be very clear. This takes significant refinement of your data sets, significant experience, and a level of maturity that only a few companies and organizations have actually achieved. Now, assistance intelligence is equivalent to, think about an extremely wise, intelligent CMO, CFO, CIO, CRO that understands your systems intimately, understands your data sets intimately, and can make decisions and suggestions within your organizations that really no human could ever come up with. You know, a great example is an AI that maybe can look at your audience data and determine sales demographics that you're not even selling to that would have a significant return on investment. I want to give you a real life example of assistance intelligence in action. And it's the New Zealand racing team that wanted to win the America's Cup. Now, they hired McKinsey to be able to build them an AI solution for how to operate their sailboat so they could win. So they set up a bunch of sensors as they sailed to grab a bunch of data. They took that data, they modeled their data out, they created thousands of permutations on how they could operate and have better sailing techniques. Now, in doing so, their data got super mature and they learned a lot. And they actually achieved assistance intelligence, where then the outcome was not just how to operate the sailboat better, but how to redesign and build the sailboat better. So that was a level of refinement where they were able to achieve assistance intelligence. And the result was they were able to win the America's Cup race. Now, I want to give you a comparison where a human system was then overhauled to then build an application solution where the humans leveraged an AI agent. Now, in this example, we're going to focus on lead generation, where before, one lead generation person would have to search for the lead, identify the lead, research and write to the lead, engage with the lead, and then pass that lead to the sales team. In this scenario, one person would maybe be able to generate a lead in about 45 minutes, and they could only max out at 10 per day. And the conversion rate hovered around 2.5%. That lead generation team decided to build a custom AI solution where now they would overhaul their current system, and each lead generation employee would work with an AI agent. So now in the new system, the AI agent identifies the lead, and then the human accepts or edits the output. The AI would then write the lead, and the human would then edit or accept the output. The AI would then qualify the lead, and then the human would either edit or accept the output. The AI would then pass the lead to the sales team, and then the AI would learn from the experience. Now, the results, each lead generation person could get a lead in about 5 minutes and could max out about 96 per day. And the conversion rate shot up to 96%. Now, the conversion rate increase was because of this idea of a positive feedback loop. So as I alluded to, the AI will do the task and then the human will edit the task. When the human edit or accepts the work of the AI, specifically edits the work, they're removing bad data from the AI system. Now that removal of the bad data over and over and over again will leave the best data in the system. That allows for an increase in conversion. And it doesn't have to be just humans editing the work. AI can actually do this in a more mature system. I think executives in 2024 need to ask themselves this question. How would I redesign my organization systems from scratch, understanding the capability of AI as of today and in the future? Because like I said before, by 2030, there will be two types of companies, the ones using AI and the ones that died because they didn't.